Today what we're going to look at is actually how you feel in terms of are you in balance in your life. And what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to a couple shamanic concepts. One being the whole concept of wheel teachings and overlay of wheels, just to kind of give you a little bit of a hand in able to see what's happening in your life and perhaps what you can do to change it and get a better life. So I'd like to start off by sending around what we call a talking stick. And the talking stick is basically he who has it gets to speak and everybody else gets to listen. That's the short version of what we do with the talking stick. It's a great way to introduce all of us to one another. And so I will ask you to state your name, your power name if you have one. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say your life is balanced right now? Okay?
Wendy, Golden Cougar Woman, and as of 12:30 today, 8.
Michaela Thunderall, 8. Josh Redmond Dragon.
Jeff Bernhardt Guardian, 7.
Wow. And I'm Andre Eagleheart, and probably I'd go to 8 as well too. So thank you for that. So we tend to think in linear fashions, right? Evening time, we look at the morning, the afternoon, the evening, and so forth. When our native relatives, what they did was actually look at things in terms of circular. And it was very easy for them to do so, because when they looked around and they saw the sun, it was round. When they saw a bird's nest, it's round. They could even grab sand in their hands and let it go slowly, and it would actually create a circle. So the circle, or the wheel, as it's known, became a very key, important way of being able to communicate information and teach information. You know, they did a very simple wheel in terms of the element wheel. Was what they did in the morning. They would look up and they saw the sun, and the sun was in the east. And there was that fire that's in the sky. So that's the element of fire. And as they watched the sun go into the west and set in the west, they saw it set actually on the earth. So the earth is actually in the west. Right? It's the middle. And when they looked down at their feet, they saw the earth that they were standing on, and the waters were there. The water was running. So the water became, in fact, the south element. And when they looked up to above them, what they saw was the air. So the air is their north element. Do you all get a sense of how that kind of works in the wheel? And then, of course, in the very center where he stood is a void. It's that space of possibilities. It's that space of where, you know, anything can almost happen, right? So the way we end up drawing those, just so you know, this is where you find out how shaky your hand really is. So being the element here, we have fire. In the east, we have earth. In the west, we have water. Oops. In the south, we have air. In the north, and we have the void in the center. Okay. So what the wheels do is they kind of help us understand how to put other things onto other wheels. So if we start taking a look at our own human aspect, and we look at ourselves in terms of who we are as a human being, right? One of the things we have is a body, right? So if you look back on this one here, earth, fire, water, air, and void, what direction would you actually put your body?
West.
West. Good for you. And why is that?
I don't know. This is new to me.
This isn't, oh, you're one of the newbies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we put the body in the West because it's got physicalness, right? It's got substance, right? Same as the earth, right? Our body is actually what holds everything else. It's that physicalness that we have. You know, another way to look at it is that our bodies actually vibrate at a very low rate, so does the earth, which is why we have that substance. Okay? So if we were to take a look at our minds, where would you put the mind? The reason I want to put spirit in the east is very much, it's our fire, if you want, right? It's what actually pulls us forwards. And the last one, in the very center, I'm going to put life force. So life force is really that energy. You know, if you think about it, you're born with X energy in you, and you have your whole lifetime to spend it. And are you going to spend it too quickly? You're going to modulate it properly, or work with it, and so forth. But it's that cord that's in ourselves. It's really that void, if you will, that area of possibility, what you have is inside you, and what you can in fact go and do something with, right? So we can actually overlay them sometimes, right? The heart is the water. The heart holds the water of our body, if you will. The body is in fact the earth, our own physical container. Our spirit is in fact our fire, and our mind is our air, if you will, right? As well as our life force, our void. I want to introduce you to another wheel. And I call this one just the energy, but some of you probably won't recognize it. So, body, in terms of its energy, it also is a holder, right? It actually holds our heart, our mind, our spirit, right? It's a nice way of overlaying this one onto that one to getting a better understanding of it. So let's go with the heart. The heart, and we're giving from the heart, and we all know what that's like. That's the humanness of us, right? What would happen if you did holding with the heart? What would that look like?
Pain.
Yeah. Or then you can go into, how about receiving strictly from the heart space? What happens there? Torment. Yeah, I had judgment down, but I think I'll change it. I guess that's a judgment towards being a doormat. Okay, cool. I can live with that. How about determining with heart? What would that look like? Can it even be done?
Maybe some bad decisions.
Yeah. Well, there's the French line of le cœur a ses raisons que la raison ne comprend pas, which translates roughly to the heart has its reasons that reason can never understand. And I think that would be a kind of determining with the heart space. It's a tool to figure out what you can do to actually put yourself into balance. And maybe you want to come up with 1 to 3 statements in terms of how you want to actually make changes in your life to hit that balance point.
The most important one for me is getting out of my head.
Okay. So, just before I close, any questions? Is this a worthwhile exercise?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.